Every year when we have our league meetings in the fall and in the spring, we say the same thing over and over and over. And nothing has changed.
Wrong on so many levels. First, you're going to poke her in the eyeball with your fingernail and then hit her again. She's like, stop, you already hit me once. And then she comes and gets checked like it's hockey. Like, this is a load of crap because you're jealous because she's better than you and gets you paid and you're going to hit her.
Every year when we have our league meetings in the fall and in the spring, we say the same thing over and over and over. And nothing has changed. So, I'm not sure outside of continuing to submit clips, continuing to talk about it. Like, look, their job is hard. The game has changed so much. Players are faster, they're better, they're bigger, they're stronger. They're as good as they've ever been. They're as athletic as they've ever been. The game is fast now. Things are happening quickly. Everybody's getting better, except the officials. So we got to find a way to remedy it. I mean, you've heard every coach talk about it, so I don't know what the answer is.
Caitlin Clark gets knocked on her ass during one of the most vicious WNBA matchups of the season. It wasn't a flop, and it wasn't a stumble, it was a full-contact, no-mercy hit that sent shockwaves through the arena and set social media on fire. But this moment wasn't just about a foul. It was about sending a message to the rookie phenom, to the fans, and to the league. Was it a cheap shot? Or just the cost of becoming the face of the WNBA? What happened next proved that Caitlin Clark isn't just hype, she's built for the fire. And this was her defining moment.
You can't claw someone in the eye! Eject her! Eject both of them! Eject both of them! So there's nothing there, Nothing there. JC Shelton claws her in the eye. Then the two of them get into it, and then Mabry just goes and shoves her onto the ground. Eject both of them! Eject both of them!
She got rocked. A veteran defender met her in the paint with full force, shoulder to chest, and Caitlin Clark went flying. Her body hit the hardwood with a loud thud that silenced the arena for a split second. No flop, no acting. Just a brutal collision that left everyone stunned. The ref's whistle blew late, the crowd roared, and the replay told the whole story. No attempt at the ball, just pure physicality. It wasn't just contact, it was confrontation. A message, loud and clear, you're not going to walk through this league untouched. In that moment, Caitlin Clark wasn't just playing basketball, she was surviving a war zone.
They're playing, as we record this on Tuesday night, the Connecticut Sun. And I watched a sequence where Caitlin Clark got leveled by two different members of the Connecticut Sun. Now, Sophie Cunningham got in there and mixed it up with one of the players, but I just find myself watching these fever games and watching the liberties that opposing teams take with Caitlin Clark. And I'm wondering, like, are there like enforcers in the WNBA? Like, are there the WNBA versions of like Charles Oakley or the Davis twins? Like, can we get Caitlin Clark a little protection out there? Because that's your Jordan. Like, that's your Steph Curry. That's your LeBron, your Kobe. That's the face of the league. You got to protect the face of the league, ladies.
The replay said it all. Slow motion revealed the intent behind the hit. No swipe at the ball. No genuine contest. Just force. Pure, calculated contact. It wasn't a defensive play. It was a statement. The kind of hit that echoes old-school WNBA toughness. The kind that says, you're not running this league without a fight. Was it a flagrant? Maybe. But around the league, the sentiment was different. Whisper it in locker rooms or say it loud from the stands. This is how we protect our house. The moment felt raw, almost primal. Not just physical, emotional.
Caitlin does need to get going on offense, though. And she is getting hacked. Like, she is getting hacked. Oh my God! Why? What is going on? Why would she body slam her like that? The call should have been made earlier. There should have been like 14 fouls before she got jabbed in the eyeball.
But this is where Caitlin Clark showed exactly what she's made of. She didn't roll around on the floor. She didn't look to the refs for sympathy. She got up, steady, calm, and laser-focused. Not a word. No drama. Just a quiet storm building inside her. She stepped to the free throw line, took a single deep breath, and sank both shots with absolute precision. The arena held its breath, and she didn't even blink. But she wasn't finished. Just 2 plays later, with the defender who hit her still in front of her, Clark pulled up from deep, nearly logo range and buried a cold-blooded 3 right in her face. No celebration, no trash talk. Just cold vengeance delivered through the net. That wasn't luck. That was legacy in motion. That's how legends are made.
So this kind of started it. They're going back and forth, and Caitlin like, hey, forget you. Boom, shoved her right there, right? Then Marina Mabry already shoving Caitlin, right? She jumping into it, shoving Caitlin to the side, right? Now we get further into the game. Watch this. Watch how this happens, right? So you see Sheldon guarding up, playing pretty good defense. This is what I was going to give her credit on. She was not allowing Caitlin to penetrate, get into the paint, deny her the path to the basket, right? Boom, she bumps. Caitlin drives around. Look, good footwork. Okay, you stand in front of her. I give it to you. Boom, bumps again, spin around. Boom, she's bumping, getting bumpy. And then that happened. I'm like, what was that? What is this play right here, man?
That single moment didn't just flip the game, it flipped the entire story. The second that three-pointer dropped, the crowd erupted like a wave crashing over the court. Fans who had held their breath when she hit the floor were now on their feet, roaring with energy. The building shook with something different. Belief. Caitlin Clark wasn't just holding her own against the physicality, she was feeding off it, thriving in it. She had turned adversity into fuel. Every time she touched the ball, the defense collapsed on her with double teams, desperate to shut her down. But she kept creating, kept firing, kept finding space where there was none. And every shot she drained sent another shockwave through the arena. Her teammates saw it. They felt it. The fire in her eyes lit a spark in the entire roster. Suddenly, Indiana was no longer reacting to the other team's aggression. They were setting the tone. They were punching back. And it all started with Clark. By the time the fourth quarter arrived, it was no longer about the hit or the foul. It was about what came after. This wasn't intimidation. This was a rite of passage. A test handed down by the league's veterans to see what the rookie was really made of. And Caitlin Clark didn't just pass that test, she rewrote it. Fans rushed to her defense with fire and loyalty. "She's too tough to fold," one person posted. "They can't stop her game, so they're trying to stop her body," another wrote. The sentiment was clear. People weren't just watching her play. They were emotionally invested in her story. This wasn't about a rookie anymore. This was about a generational figure being tested in real time. But just as quickly, the other side fired back. "Welcome to the W," some said. "You're not above the game just because you bring ratings." And then came the gatekeeping. "She hasn't earned it yet." Every rookie goes through this. This is what real basketball looks like. The conversation exploded into something bigger than basketball. It became about legacy, about culture, about the unwritten rules of respect and who deserves to have the spotlight. Even WNBA veterans and legends took to the mic. Some praised her. "You see how she got up without a word? That's what greatness looks like," one former All-Star said on ESPN. Others were colder. "She's got to go through what we all went through. No shortcuts, no special treatment." These weren't just takes. They were emotional responses from a league grappling with the weight of change. Because the truth is, Caitlin Clark isn't just another rookie. She's a cultural force. Her games bring in record-breaking viewership. Her name dominates every headline. Her jersey sales lead the league. And that kind of spotlight? It's rare. It's powerful. And in a league that's still carving out space on the national stage, it's also polarizing. But here's the core of it. When a first-year player draws this much attention, from defenders trying to rattle her, from fans who scream her name, from legends who feel threatened, and from a league trying to evolve, that's not a problem. That's not hype. That's power. Real, disruptive, era-shifting power. Caitlin Clark doesn't just play the game, she changes it. Every foul she takes, every bucket she makes, every silent comeback from the floor sends a ripple through the sport. She's not just in the league, she's reshaping it in real time. And whether you love her or hate her, you can't ignore her. So now the real question isn't whether Caitlin Clark belongs in the WNBA. That answer is obvious. She's already proven she has the skill, the toughness, and the mindset to compete at the highest level. The question is bigger than that now. It's whether the league is truly ready for her, for everything she brings. Because every time she steps onto the court, something shifts. Ratings go up, seats get filled, eyes that have never watched women's basketball before suddenly start paying attention. She's not just playing games, she's pulling the entire sport into the spotlight. But with that spotlight comes discomfort. Not everyone's ready for the pressure she brings. Not every veteran embraces the way the conversation has turned. She's changing the WNBA in real time, forcing it to grow, to adapt, to face questions it's never had to ask before. And with every shot she makes, every hit she absorbs, every time she gets back up, Caitlin Clark isn't just proving she belongs. She's proving that this league, whether it likes it or not, is stepping into a new era. So, what do you think? Was that hit just hard-nosed, playoff-style defense? The kind of physicality that defines greatness? Or was it a calculated, cheap shot meant to put a rising star in her place? Is the WNBA embracing the momentum Caitlin Clark brings? Or is it pushing back against her influence because it feels too big, too fast, too disruptive? Maybe this is just the rite of passage every legend must face, the moment where talent meets resistance, and only toughness can carry you through. Whatever your take, one thing is undeniable. Caitlin Clark isn't just going through the fire, she's walking straight into it, and coming out stronger.